Hi Style Access members, I am here in my bathroom. I am going to give you a quick tutorial on how I do a 5-minute makeup routine every morning. I am by no means a makeup artist, but over the years I have tried lots of different products and I've learned tips and tricks from makeup artists that I share with my clients. So I thought it might be helpful to share some of that knowledge with you. So let's get started. So as I get older, I'm definitely in the camp of less is more when it comes to makeup. I do have a great skincare regimen and I highly recommend that for everybody. To make sure you have a good eye cream, a good moisturizer, because a lot of times when your skin is dry and it's not very balanced, then the makeup just kind of sits on top of your skin and it doesn't allow your skin to breathe. So I happen to use Rodan & Fields, which I absolutely love. I've been using it now for almost 3 years. But whatever skincare regimen you use, just make sure you use it every day. You wash your makeup at night, and you just keep consistent with that regimen. So what you want to do after you've kind of washed your face, you've put your moisturizer on, always use a good eye cream. And make sure that you put it under your eyes, and I also put it on my lips to give some kind of nourishment to the lips. When I provide the list of products to you, I will definitely share with you what are those products that are kind of unwavering for me. I have tried many different brands of those particular items, and I always come back to kind of this list of core products. So I'll make sure I share that. So the first thing is you want a good under eye concealer. I happen to use this one. This is from Chanel. I also like the NARS under eye concealer, but I start with that. And so I just make sure I put that on. My under eye circles are definitely have gotten worse, and I actually happen to have like a little bit of a vein that is more pronounced under my one eye. So I make sure that I use the under eye concealer every day. So blend that in, and I'll be kind of moving in and out from my mirror and then also showing you on the screen. So I use that. Next thing, and this is part of my unwavering list of products, if you can see that, it is Bare Minerals. It is a eyelid primer. I absolutely love this, and this is one item that I stock up on because I tend to have more oily lids, and this I have found has been a great barrier for me. And even if I don't put any kind of eyeshadow on, I find that this just covers up some of the veins I have on my eyelids, and it gives it a more matte look. But it helps the eyeshadow from creasing. And now, honestly, I can go all day without the eyeshadow creasing. So I blend that in real good all the way up to my eyebrows, okay? So the next thing is I use a foundation stick, and I absolutely love this one. This is Yves Saint Laurent. I have used heavier foundations in the past, but what I really like about this is that I only put it in the areas where I have redness and I just want to even out my skin tone. As I've gotten older, I actually like it when my skin is able to breathe and it doesn't look like I have a full face of makeup. So what I do with this is I just put a little bit on the brush and I just blend it in. This brush happens to be from Rodan & Fields. It is actually for foundation, so it's got really short, tight bristles, allowing this to kind of get into the skin. And so I just blend this in. I have a little bit of a tan going on this summer, so I just want to kind of have enough to even out the redness. In the winter, I might use this and actually swipe my skin just to get a little bit more. But that's all I do. I bring it down to the neckline just to even it out, and that's it. So then I'm going to take my fingers actually and just kind of spread it and make sure that it's nice and even, get into some of the creases here. And already my face is just looking nice and even, but I like that it's a very natural look. So next up, I will use a I actually will set the foundation. So in the summertime, I'm using a pressed powder. This happens to be Laura Mercier. And what this does is it just allows the foundation stick to kind of set itself. So I brush it and I just put it over. I do this before I do the blush. I don't know why, I just happen to do it that way. I put it over the eyes, and this just gives it kind of a nice finish. I will say in the winter I switch it up and I actually use a spray toner to set my makeup. And I do that in the winter because my skin tends to get more dry in the winter. In the summer, it's a little bit more oily. So that is that. Next up, I use a blush. This one is Chanel. I really like the Chanel products, but NARS also has a great blush that's more universal. I use a brush that has a bit of an angle, and I just put that in. I smile, and I just put this right in the apples of the cheeks, and then I bring it up, because the idea of makeup, much like when you're dressing for your shape, is you want to use the makeup to help lift your face. That's kind of, all right, so now I've got the blush in place. I've got kind of the redness is covered and more of an even skin tone. Some days, depending on how much time I have, I may use a highlighter. I have this palette from NARS that has a highlighter in it, and I actually just run my finger over it, and I just bring it right up here. And I really like what that does in the summertime. Just gives a little bit of a kind of a highlighter sheen right in the upper cheekbone. It helps also look kind of more lifted. So I do that. I don't do that every day, but when I remember to do it. All right, so next up, let's do the brows. So what I do first is I comb the brows. I actually have, this is an old brow brush that I have that I use, and I comb up, and then sometimes I kind of go in the opposite direction. I got this tip from a makeup artist, and I think it is genius, because many times we go like this to comb our brows, but if you go up, you're actually kind of giving a lifting effect and kind of brushing it out, almost like when you're brushing your hair. So I do that first. Next, this is a new product that I started using this summer, and this has become an unwavering product for me. It is from Glossier. It is called the Brow Flick. And here's what it does. If you notice, I have some sparseness right here through my brow. Now, a true makeup artist will say that your brows should start kind of right about here. And so I have got a lot of gap there. Now, as we age, our eyebrows they get more sparse. That's just how it goes. So what I love about this is that it actually, you can fill in where the sparseness is, and it looks very natural. So you just shake this, and it has a really fine tip. And I think maybe what I'll do is I'll just go in here, and I come in like right about here, and you just do these short strokes. Very lightly, and it has taken me some time to really learn how to use this, but the results are great. And I just come in and do a couple of little light swipes, feather swipes, if you will, to simulate the growth so that it looks like I have more of a brow. So I'm gonna do that on both sides. And that's all it is. Now, sometimes you have to kind of use your finger. Again, you do not want to have a heavy hand with this product, because you don't want to look like look like it's just too much. And you'll have to experiment. I do see some women have extremely defined brows, and they look amazing. Sometimes if I go too much, I don't like that look. So you really have to experiment with this. So what I do love though, no matter what you decide to do, to frame your face by filling in your brows. So I have loved this product. So that's step one. And then I use again Glossier. This is their Boy Brow. And this is just a pomade, they call it, in brown. And that's kind of what helps set it. And so I just swipe that through. And you can actually, when you go to their website, you can only buy this product online, but you can buy this together, the Boy Brow and then the Brow Fix. So there you go. So already what it's done is it's really framed my face. So I could just do this and hit my day. Many times I will do this just for my weekend look, and I'm good to go. So once you've done that, then for the summer I've been kind of really good about just keeping my eyelid very simple. So I do have an eyeshadow palette from Yves Saint Laurent that I love. And so when I'm going out or I'm looking for a little more eye definition, then I'll play around with the shadows. But to keep it to our 5-minute makeup, I will just use this eyeshadow stick. This happens to be from NARS, and it's a very just kind of neutral brown shade. And I do this just to give a little bit of color, kind of swipe over, and then I use my fingers to blend in. I just put it on my eyelid. So it just gives a little bit of color without being too much. And in the summer, you just kind of want to be a little bit more natural anyway, I think. So then you just blend that in. And that's the eyeshadow. Okay. And now for the eyeliner. This is probably one of my favorite tricks, and I learned this from a makeup artist several years ago. So just like you dress for your shape, your eyelid shape actually can work to your advantage if you learn a couple of different tricks on eyeliner. I happen to have an almond-shaped eye, and there's a couple different ways to line the eye to really help that eye stand out. So you could eyeline all over the eyelid, and that's going to make your eyelid look more round. I actually like more of kind of a lifted eyelid. So what I do is, and I'm using this eyeshadow stick, again, one of my favorites from NARS. It's a dark brown, but I only put the eyeshadow or the eyeliner in the very corner. And I go right up against that, that lash line. And so that is all I do for my eyeliner. I do the same on this side. I go right in the corner. And what I'm doing is it's almost like I'm filling in where my eye, where the line of my eye is going down. I'm kind of filling that in so it looks a little bit more open and lifted. So I do that all the way. And then my other little trick here that I learned is I take an angled brush that looks like this. This is meant to be for filling in your eyebrows. I actually take that angled brush and I go right over this, the eyeliner, and I wing it out. Because I'm not really good at doing the cat eye, but I really like what it looks like. And so while I have the eyeliner, I just put that on, then I use this and I draw it out. And it gives a very slight kind of winged look. And that's it, okay? A couple more products. I know this video is longer, but truly it takes me less than 5 minutes to do this makeup routine. So one of the last products I use, it is a setting powder for the under eye. This is a really important step because if you just use the under eye concealer, you will notice that it'll start to set into some of the fine lines that you might have under the eye. So if you do a setting powder that is specific for the under eye area, that is going to smooth it out and set it so that the concealer does not kind of set into those fine lines. So this is a really important product to use. It is different from the overall setting powder that you would use for your face. So I just take a little brush, I just put it in there, I use the lid, and I just kind of run that under the eye. And it works like magic. And it also helps your under eye concealer stay for the day. So I would say this is a really important product if you're not using it to add to your makeup routine. Okay, and then the last, almost last, is a mascara. I also just started using this at the beginning of the summer. It is a Glossier mascara. I absolutely love this product as well. What I love about it is the brush. It allows you to really. What I like about it is that the brush has like really small bristles. It allows you to really get into the lash line and to help those lashes look longer. Now what this does is it helps separate the lashes. There's lots of different mascaras out there. Some provide volume, some provide fullness. I like volume over fullness in particular. But what I love about this is it does not smudge. I mentioned that I have those oily eyelids, and a lot of times when I wear a mascara, I'll get kind of the mascara up here as I'm wearing it throughout the day. I do not get that with this product. In fact, I wear it all day and it stays in place. So this to me is another one of those unwavering products. So I'm gonna put that in there, I kind of wiggle it, and I go all the way from the lash line, all the way up, and then at the very corner, I just take the top and I kind of bring those out. And that gives, kind of separates those lashes a little bit more. So, if you get a little bit on, you just kind of wipe that off. So that's it, guys. That is my 5-minute makeup. I do sometimes when I'm running out the door, I will add a lipstick. I've talked about this one before. This is the L'Occitane lipstick that kind of adjusts to your pH balance, giving you a more custom color. I love this. It has a good SPF balance, and that's what I'll do to kind of finish it off. And there you have it. I will link the products. If you have any questions at all, please let me know. And I hope this was helpful. Thanks.